away, Abby. And make sure you're on camera.
Oh, okay. Am I good here? Okay. So good afternoon. As Steve said, my name is Aby Cisneros, and I did go on the Woods Project. I was one of the first to go to Glacier National Park with the group. So I'm not in this picture, but I know a few that are in here, so that's good. And so, yeah, like Steve said, I did cry the first week that I was in Montana. Before I went on this trip, I was kind of the person who didn't really want to do something that was outside of my box. If something was too difficult, I just stayed away from it because I was like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do what's easy for me. And so I really had kept on that path up until I got to that summer. And really the only reason that I went that summer was because a lot of my friends were going and I wanted to go and have fun. And I didn't sign up for the backpacking part because there was an option. Like you could go backpacking for 1 week or you could just stay in the cabins for 2 weeks. And I said, oh, I can stay in the cabins for a couple of weeks. It's no big deal. I got there and I was in for a surprise. I got to the cabin and my cell phone was taken away. I didn't have service on it anyway, so I was kind of freaking out about it a little bit because, again, that was out of my comfort zone. I'd never done something like that. So I unpacked. I went outside of the cabin and I sat in front of it. And right in front of me, I saw this huge mountain, and I instantly thought, "What have I gotten myself into? This is going to be so hard, and I just want to go home because I know I'm not going to be able to do this." So like Steve said, I cried and cried and cried, and I just wanted to go home. And it really wasn't the whole week. It was like half of a week. But the first, because since I didn't go backpacking, I thought it was going to be easy. But we did do day hikes, and we did all of this climbing and ecology work. But on the first hike that we did, I remember I stayed back with the slow group and I said, I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't like this. I don't like the outdoors. I can't climb this mountain. It's really far up and it's so steep and I can't do it. And I was freaking out inside of me, and everybody around me, all of the teachers, all of the leaders that were there were like, Abby, you can do this. Just believe in yourself. You're going to do this. And so I made it to the top, and I know it sounds cliche when people say, I got to the top of the mountain and I felt like I could do everything. But I literally got to the top of that mountain, and I had wanted to give up so many times, and I got to the top, and I said, I just climbed that mountain, and I am looking at this beautiful scenery, and I at that moment I realized this is I can do this, and my parents still laugh at me at this now because that week when I was homesick, I sent them a letter. And the letter was like, I'm miserable, I just want to come home, I can't stop crying, I miss everybody. And they they put it on our refrigerator, and when I got back, they said, did you still want to come home after, the first few weeks, the first few days? And I said, no, I don't want to be home, I want to be back there. And I loved it, and I fell in love with nature, and I fell in love with everything that the Woods Project introduced me to. And so like Steve said, I did want to go back the next year, and I went backpacking that year, and I loved it. I didn't want to go home. I was so excited to be in Yosemite. And my parents really kept saying, you really did change from that first time that you went, because when I went, I didn't want to try anything. If it's hard, I'm not going to do it. But now, and I think this is something annoying that everybody that works with me in a group at school thinks that this is so frustrating and annoying, because anytime we get a project or anytime we do something and it's hard to them, I'm like, no, we can do it. No, it's fine. We can totally do this. No, it's fine. And they're like, how are you going to do this? This is so hard. And I said, no, we can do this. And I really do owe it all to the Woods Project, just because it really boosted my self-esteem, and it really did help me get to where I am today. And like Steve said, the third year I really couldn't go because I got a full scholarship to backpack in Spain. Well, I went to Spain, and I didn't realize that it involved backpacking. I just went because I said, well, Spain, it's abroad. And we got to the trip, and our leader said, okay, the last half of our trip, we're going to be backpacking. We're going to be doing the Camino de Santiago. We're going to be doing the French Way. And we're going to be carrying our backpacks, and we're going to have, our clothes. We're still going to stay, like, and, sleep in beds, but we're going to have to carry all of our clothes with us. And I mean, I thought of the Woods Project, and I thought, when we backpacked, we carried everything on our backs. We cooked outside, we did everything, and like this really was a luxury. I mean, I just had to carry my clothes. I could sleep in bed, we would eat at restaurants. But everybody in my group was freaking out because they'd never done something like that before. And I just looked at them and I said, this is a piece of cake. Like, it's just really carrying your clothes. Like, you'll be fine. And the whole time that we were on there, like, I just kept encouraging them and just kept saying, we can do this. And now that I haven't really been a part of the Woods Project lately, but every time that I do something, I think back to the Woods Project, and I work with a program now called Breakthrough Houston that I've taught for 3 summers now. And one of my old students actually went on the Woods Project. His name was Eduardo Segura, and he went on the Woods Project, and I remember seeing him my first summer, and he was very timid. He didn't really talk to very many people, and when I found out that he was going to go on the Woods Project, I said, that's going to be really, really good for him. And he came back, and he is a rock star now. Like, he loves the program. He loves the Woods Project. I think he went on Knowles because he just, because of the Woods Project, he now just loves being outdoors, and he just loves everything that the Woods Project taught him. He just has carried that with him. So I see that impact that the Woods Project has done, and had I not gone that first summer, I know that I would probably be a completely different person right now. Like Steve said, I am going to graduate next May with a degree in interdisciplinary studies and EC through 6 bilingual education certification, and a minor in Spanish. So I will be doing that, and I have taught for 3 summers at Breakthrough, which is a really hard internship, but again, I wouldn't have been able to do it had I not been able to believe in myself and know that I can do something, and I owe that all to the Woods Project. So.
That's awesome. Can you talk a little bit about your parents and how they looked at you differently before and after?
Yeah, like I said, I wrote my parents that letter, and they still laugh at me now because in that letter I said, I never want to leave home, I just want to stay home all of the time. And now I am hardly ever at home. I've traveled everywhere. I've gone to all of these different places. I'm now really independent, which is really scary for my parents because they're Hispanic parents who aren't used to kind of letting their children go up until they get married. So they see me and they're just like, okay, I've never had this experience before. So it's been a learning experience for them as well. But they're glad because I am the first person in my family to say, I want to go to college. I am going to go to college. So they're very supportive, and they're just very happy that I am the person that I am now, and I'm not as dependent on them the way I was before. But it has impacted their lives as well.
Thank you, Abby.
No problem.
Abby is